All right. So yesterday there was a bunch of wrestlers released. And then today you got Matt Riddle released. So a lot of wrestlers got released since the UFC and WWE deals kicked in. So it wasn't shocking, but a lot of talent got released. So I'm just gonna go through that and then I'll get to the Smackdown review. All right. So I got the list of talent here released by WWE in this article. This article is from WrestlingInc.com. Is following the announcement of a new TV deal for SmackDown starting next October. WWE began, or the company netted 1.4 billion over 5 years, and WWE began informing talent of their releases this morning. So this was yesterday. This article has been updated. Some performers have come on social media with their own announcements, while others have been confirmed by various outlets. All right, first up we got Mustafa Ali. He took to Twitter X this morning, said he was no longer a member of the roster. He was the first to make the announcement while the WWE star was in a WWE NXT North American championship feud with Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I don't really watch NXT, so it looks like he was being used in NXT by Shawn Michaels. Next, we had the biggest name yesterday released was most likely Dolph Ziggler. His last match took place on May 29th. What was that, about 4 months ago? Nah, they're not even using this guy. Faced JD McDonough in a double count out. Then we had Shelton Benjamin, former Hurt Business member. He announced he was released today. He had two lengthy stints with WWE from 2000 till 2010, and then again from 2017 till now, 2023. I remember him with Team Angle. He was in a team with Kurt Angle and then Charlie Haas. It was Benjamin Charlie Haas, world's greatest tag team. They're a pretty good tag team, athletic team and stuff. That's probably remember the most from him. And then everybody obviously remembers the Hurt Business. But yeah, he hasn't even done anything. All these guys that they released or whatever, they really haven't used them. They're just doing random matches with no storylines. That's pretty much it. Yeah, they're just not even using all these people that they cut yesterday and today. Or today they were using Matt Riddle. Well, all the guys yesterday, all the guys and women they released yesterday, they don't really use them. They had Emma as well as her husband, Riddick Moss, both confirmed on social media they'd been let go. Prior to the call, Emma had been celebrating the company's announcement that the Elimination Chamber is going to take place in the city of Perth in Australia next year. Well, that sucks. She doesn't get to be in her hometown for a pay-per-view on the card. Elias, I don't even know where he's been at. Who hasn't been seen on WWE programming in a number of months. Confirmed by Fightful Select, have been released today. Former 24/7 champion, last competed in a battle royal in May. Yeah, though he hasn't been on either. To determine new number one contender for the Intercontinental title. Mustafa Ali won that match. Rick Boogs, he got released today. Along with his own singles career, he's best known as a musical accompaniment to Nakamura. Yeah, that's pretty much what he's known for. Didn't really do anything else. They put him and Elias together, and that didn't really work either. And next up we had Michael Cole's boy, Hit Row member Top Dollar. He just kept making fun of him every week since he messed up that did that suicide dive over the top, and his foot got caught on the top rope. And Michael Cole kept doing diss tracks and stuff on commentary. That's pretty much it for him. And Hit Row is just terrible, man. Last match took place on August 11th. He defeated LA Knight in he was defeated by LA Knight in over 2 minutes. Aaliyah, she got cut. Early 2022, she broke the record for fastest victory at 3.17 seconds, a record that is yet to be broken. Mason and Mansoor, the Maximum Male models, both had played various parts in the company before being paired together, along with Maxine Dupree, Shanky. He was in an alliance with Jinder Mahal. He got cut. Wasn't he doing like the freaking dancing gimmick and they just killed it and they got rid of it? That could have been something for a little bit. Dana Brooke, she got cut today. She joined NXT in 2013, lasted more than a decade with the company, ultimately best known for her 15 reigns as 24/7 champion. 15 times she won that stupid belt. And she recently returned to NXT, involved in a storyline with Kalani Jordan. Others from NXT include Quincy Elliott, Double Kato, Yulisa Leone, Ekman Jiro. Yeah, I don't watch NXT, so I have no clue who these other people are. As well as other developmental prospects whose television exposure prior to their departure was limited or non-existent. Bryson Montana, Daniel MacArthur. Yeah, so I'll go a bunch of NXT people. Don't know who they are. So yeah, that was yesterday, and then today. Yeah, this is probably the biggest release so far of everybody released. This gonna go through this article. Statement on Twitter. Riddle announced his departure, thanked his fans for all the years of memories. Okay, so Riddle himself, a former UFC fighter, began training as a professional wrestler almost a decade ago and signed with WWE in 2018. Over the course of his career, he won NXT titles with NXT tag titles with Pete Dunne, now known as Butch. The Raw Tag Team Champion with Randy Orton. That was probably his most popular thing they did. RK Bro with Randy. And he won the United States title. His WWE run was also characterized by prominent accusations against him during the speaking out movement, his real life feud with Rollins, and multiple drug suspensions. The recent one was in 2022, last year. He got removed from television, then he returned on Raw after WrestleMania 39. And it was a diminished role because Randy Orton's injured. Should be on his way back soon, Randy. And Riddle made headlines earlier this month for an incident at the JFK airport. He accused some what's it, airport security officer or police officer of like sexually assaulting him or something. But it turns out it wasn't true because he was like apparently either high or drunk or something on the plane. I don't know why he would do that. No, stupid. Despite reports that his absence was not related to the airport altercation and he was making his return to Raw. Riddle hasn't been backstage or on the road with WWE since he was pulled from events and the September 11th episode of Raw. Report claims that Riddle was not planned for a return and not part of WWE's creative plans following the incident, despite the fact that he was in the middle of a storyline and he was teaming up with Drew McIntyre. And one source said that he burned through too many chances while in WWE. So, it just pretty much sucks that all these people lost their jobs, but most of them they weren't even using, really, because I don't know what, they just weren't that good. So yeah, hopefully everybody got fired this week. Hopefully they find jobs. I think some of them will probably go to AEW. So we'll see what happens with that. Matt Riddle probably most likely to go to AEW. He's the biggest name that got released, and probably Dolph Ziggler. Two best bets to go to AEW because Dolph Ziggler's brother's there, that Ryan Nemeth guy. So yeah, see what happens with that. All right, let's get to Friday Night Smackdown. This is your review for September 22, 2023. That was a decent Smackdown. Wasn't as good as last week because you had Rock and Cena on. This week it was only John Cena. Pretty much the main thing that happened this week. And then maybe they shot an angle with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. They lost the match and Bobby Lashley was like pissed off or whatever after the match. And then he talked to him backstage. So yeah, that was like a decent, okay show. Not too much happened here tonight. All right, so show starts off with John Cena You can't see me. My time is now. Says, I've been a talk show host, talk show guest, a host, a referee, an official, and a backstage reporter. Says he doesn't want to be a host. He doesn't want to be a ref. He doesn't want to be a backstage reporter. I'm here to compete. I'm angry. And he paused and he says, at the bloodline. Says, I found a partner, a phenomenal partner. And AJ Styles, he comes out. And AJ says, you want AJ and John Cena versus the bloodline? And then AJ says, bloodline, you want some? Come get some. He's using John Cena's line. And then Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso come out, stand on the apron. And then first Jimmy steps down. And then Solo does, and they both go to the back. Then got a backstage segment with John Cena, AJ Styles, and Adam Pearce. Says they want to face the bloodline. Adam Pearce says things with the bloodline get complicated. When you're dealing with the bloodline, you're dealing with Paul Heyman. Let me find Paul Heyman, see if I can get this done. So he's got to go find Paul Heyman, get the match made or whatever. Probably say it is official. He always does. All right, next up, we got Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Street Profits. Rey Mysterio hit a Hurricane Rana on Angelo Dawkins. Rey went for the sliding splash underneath the bottom rope to the outside. He was supposed to hit Montez Ford, but Angelo Dawkins pulled Montez Ford out of the way, so Rey Mysterio crashed and burned onto the floor on the outside. Back in the ring, Montez Ford hit Rey Mysterio with a clothesline. Santos Escobar gets the tag. He hits a splash from the top rope. Santos hit Montez Ford with a Hurricane Rana off the top rope for a 2 count. And then Rey gets the tag. He goes for the 619. Dawkins counters with the sky high slam. Santos Escobar broke up the pin. And then Lashley, towards the end of the match, he picked up Rey and he slammed him down on the apron. And a brutal. And then Angelo Dawkins, he went for a power bomb, and then Rey countered the power bomb into a pin, and he got the 3 count for the win. Then after the match, Lashley attacked Rey, and then so towards the end of the match there, after Lashley dropped Rey with the spine buster, Angelo Dawkins like hesitated or whatever. So they're basically saying that Lashley's pretty much saying that you guys don't have the killer instinct and stuff. And then that's what probably Lashley's probably thinking. And then we got Michael Cole. They show the what was it? They show the Rock's promo from last week, and then they come back after showing it to the commentary desk. And Michael Cole starts doing the "Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?" And all that's going on. Austin Theory, he shows up. He's on his period or whatever, is yelling at Michael Cole, throwing a little bitch fit or whatever. And then don't have a clue what he's saying. And the refs show up and they pretty much escort him to the back or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what company sees in Austin Theory, man. Just don't think he's that good. He has no what's his gimmick, man? What's his character, man? Still don't know what that is. Whatever. All right, next up, we got a backstage segment. The Brawling Brutes, they challenge Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to a tag match. Adam Pearce makes it is official. That's all this guy does, man. When he just makes matches and just says it's official. It's pretty much his thing. All right, we got another segment backstage, this time with Street Profits and Lashley. Lashley's all pissed off and like disgusted with these guys. Says, "What was that? You had it won. You didn't finish him." He's like, I want the suit, I want the watches back, I want the suits back, I want it all back. If you can't pull the trigger, go sit in catering. I'll find someone who can. So Lashley's doing the old tough love thing because he's like pretty much saying, oh, he's the veteran or he's the most experienced guy, and I brought you under my wing. I want to try to take you guys to the next level, to the top. And this is what you guys are doing. You guys don't have the killer instinct. You get the job done. So this is probably going to go on for a few weeks, and we'll finally see like a legit heel turn from the Street Profits, so they can be taken more serious, I guess, and hopefully one or both of them, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, can make the jump to the main event level. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. All right, next up we got Io Sky versus Asuka. Before the match starts, Charlotte Flair shows up. She goes to commentary. She doesn't have a headset on. She just sits next to the commentary table. And towards the end of the match, Bayley puts Io Sky's foot on the rope. Ref can't see it because he's focused on the two competitors in the ring. And then Charlotte Flair, she gets up off her chair, sitting next to the commentary table. She punches Bayley out, and then Io Sky hits double knees on the back of Asuka, and then she goes to the top rope. It's a moonsault for the win. So Io Sky retains the women's title against Asuka, and then yeah, pretty much it for that. And then Charlotte Flair is gonna face. I think she's facing Bayley, or I can't remember. She's facing Bayley, or she's got a match next week. I can't remember who she's facing. Didn't really care about this match. All right, next up we got the Bloodlines backstage segment. All of a sudden, Adam Pearce, he walks in. Jimmy says, "Come on in, Oos. Come on in, AP." AP shows the contract to for the tag match to Paul Heyman. Heyman says, "As long as this match is not tonight, I'm fine with it." Adam Pearce says, "It's not tonight. It's at Fastlane." And then Paul Heyman's like all confused and stuff, and the look on his face. He's like, "Who made that decision?" Jimmy looks at the contract, says, "Looks good to me, Oos." We'll be on the ring to sign that, Oos. Appreciate it, AP. Paul Heyman. He says, Jim, usually decisions like that need approval from the tribal chief first. Jimmy Jimmy says, "Let me know, Oos. Let me know what he says, OG." Then Jimmy Uso, he walks out. And Solo says, "Don't worry about it. After tonight, there won't be nobody to fight us at Fastlane." And then Paul Heyman pulls his phone out, and he says to Siri, "Call Roman Reigns. Call the tribal chief. He'll know what to do." Jimmy just didn't care tonight, man. All right, next up we got the Brawling Brutes versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Brawling Brutes both hit the 10 beats of the Baldwin on both Theory and Grayson Waller. One of them was outside the ring on the barricade, and the other one was on the apron on the ropes while they did the moves. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller both hit a clothesline each, 2 clotheslines on Butch. And then Ridge Holland got the tag, and he cleaned house. Ridge hit a power slam on Austin Theory for a 2 count. Then Ridge hit a Alabama slam on Austin Theory for a near fall. Grayson Waller hit the rolling stunner, while Ridge Holland had Boston Crab applied on Austin Theory. And then Austin Theory hit the 8-count down for the win. I don't get what this company sees with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, man. I don't know if they're going to be main eventers for this company. Still not sure. But Austin Theory hasn't done anything since he he beat Cena at WrestleMania. And then Grayson Waller is pretty much the Australian version of the Miz. So I don't really see what this company sees with these two guys, man. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, so Adam Pearce is in the ring for the contract signing, and out comes John Cena. So he comes out, he signs it right away. AJ Styles, music hits. He's supposed to come out next. A few seconds go by, he doesn't come out. That's because he's getting destroyed in the back by Jimmy Uso, who's attacking him. And then Solo is standing up like on the stage. You can see that. A platform somewhere in the back. And then Solo, he just hits a splash off of where he's standing from. And then couldn't see the two tables that AJ Styles was on. But he put him through two tables. And then John Cena, he leaves. He goes to check on AJ Styles in the back. Back from the break. AJ Styles is pretty much on a stretcher. And then, yeah, so he gets stretchered off to the back before they left. Carl Anderson, he was like trying to talk to Meechin or whatever, trying to tell her something or whatever. And then she hops into the ambulance, and then Carl Anderson tells Cena, and I told AJ don't get involved with the bloodline, John. And then the ambulance leaves. And then John Cena watches as AJ gets stretchered out and leaves in the ambulance. And then Paul Heyman comes out, and then Jimmy and Solo come out. Paul Heyman has the contract in his hands in the ring. Says John Cena has no partner for Fastlane. And then out of nowhere, Jimmy just yanks the microphone out of Paul Heyman's hand. Give me that oos. Jimmy says, "Look what happens when you mess with the bloodline. Yo, John, if you smart like you say you smart, you would jump in the ambulance, go south, and go far, far, far away from the bloodline, oos. That John's gonna end up in an ambulance anyways." Hold up. And then Solo chucks out all the chairs and stuff and the desk. And then out comes John Cena. He attacks Solo. And then he hits a protoplex on Jimmy. Solo gets back in the ring. Cena goes for the AA on Solo. Jimmy Uso super kicks Cena right in the face, and then Solo hit the Samoan spike on John Cena. And then Jimmy, he's up on the top rope. He's taunting John with the "You can't see me." No, they don't have a photo of it. Yeah, so he did the "You can't see me" thing from the top rope. And then Jimmy Uso hit the Uso splash. And then both Jimmy and Solo signed the contract. And then Jimmy hits another Uso splash. And then they do the ones to the sky. We the ones. Bloodline's a little bit back together. And then that's pretty much it for SmackDown. That was overall decent, okay SmackDown. Really only the Bloodline stuff carried the show again, but I don't think it's gonna get good again until Roman Reigns comes back from his 2-month, 3-month vacation, however long he's out for. But yeah, that was pretty much it for SmackDown. See ya.